Hey everyone, I'm on here to share with you all about a word, a little nugget that I believe that if you start using this little word wisely in any area of your life, you will see transformation in that area of your life where this word is used with wisdom. And that word is the word no. I'll start with scripture. Matthew 5:37 says that we should let our yes be yes and our no be no, because anything that is outside of that is from evil. And so I'll get into why I have learned to embrace and love the word no, and hopefully you can take something from it and maybe apply it in your life. So the first half of my life, I would say, so if I'm 47, like maybe up to, I would say maybe even my 30s, so a little bit more than the first half of my life, I had a difficult time saying no. And it's interesting because just yesterday I was telling my grandson no because he was trying to get into the cabinet that had our pots and pans in it, and I'm like, no, no, no. So it's a word that is like instilled in us from the time that we are babies, and yet we have, well, I'm going to speak for myself, and maybe others can relate to this, but I have a difficult time telling people no. I've come a long way, but at one point I'll kind of let you know how bad it was. So I believe that I had a hard time saying no, primarily because of my people-pleasing ways, but also a major reason why is because I think I'm an empath. And so I know the sting of rejection, and I know what I feel like when I'm rejected. And so the empath in me does not want anybody to feel that same sting. And if I have anything to do with it, I am not going to say no. So that has placed me in positions, situations, obligations that I did not want to be in, but because I did not want to reject, or because I wanted to please, the no's were just so difficult to come by. And now in the later years, because what happens when we don't say no is that we become resentful because we're doing things that we really don't want to do. Or in my case, I also hated myself for it because I was conflicted, like I was not being true to me. I was not saying yes because I wanted to. I was saying yes because I thought that I had to. And as I began to uncover or take off the, how they say the onion, the layers within me, I began to see that I did say no very often, but the person I said no to was me at my own expense. So it changed my perception on it, because now I realize that for every yes, there's always an opposing no. Like when you get married, hopefully, you are saying yes to your spouse, but you're saying no to singlehood, or no to dating other people. That yes is generating a no, and that no is generating a yes. So for me, when I would say, yes, I'll do that for you, I was saying, no, Anna, your time is not important. And so that changed the way that I viewed the word no. And I realized how important the using wisdom with our yeses and our no is. If I say yes to a new position, I'm saying no to my existing position. So they're always going to be a yes for every no and a no for every yes. And so I learned to say yes to me. And sometimes that meant saying no to others. And then how about like if we're in this health game and I'm approaching 50 and the weight doesn't come off, and so I have to say no to that cheesecake, but I have to say yes to no weight gain on the scale. So there's always going to be those opposing things, which really, really makes it easier for me to be okay with saying no. It's not an offense to anyone. It really is just I have the ability to say no to some things. And now the way that I think about my no's is, what am I saying yes to? When I'm saying no to this, I'm saying yes to this. So I recently started volunteering at my church nursery. And so by saying yes to working the nursery, I am saying no to the possibility of not attending service on those days. And so I have to balance those things out. It really, really changes the perspective when you put thought into those simple words. That simple word, just N-O. When you put that thought into it, it really, really helps with saying no when you need to, saying yes when you need to, and really trying to just use wisdom when you are doing these things, not at the expense of yourself, being true to yourself, and sometimes not at the expense of others. It's not that you always say no to anything, but that you think about the opposing yes. And what are you saying yes to when you're saying no to something? So I just wanted to share that little nugget, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And just referencing back to the Bible verse that says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Why that carries a lot of weight for me in relation to what I'm talking about now is because when I was saying yes, contrary to what I really wanted or believed or felt, it wasn't really a yes. And so it says everything outside of that is comes from evil because it's contradictory. So also in thinking when we say our yeses and our nos, that we're also thinking that it is a solid yes and a solid no. And sometimes there is gray area, but I try to stay away from that as much as possible. Again, have a blessed day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.